People are trying to figure out, why are you the way you are? Why are you so strong? Why are you so resilient? Why do you have that I don't give a flying fig tree attitude? Why are you so unbothered? Why don't you let the pettiness bother you? Why doesn't their jealousy and negativity bother you? Why does their opinions not matter to you? Grown women who are living life don't have time to meditate on the negative things that people try to bring into her life. She recognizes them for what they are, and she deals with them accordingly. See, there's a difference between grown women and being an adult. Being an adult woman, you just grow up and you're just going through life free flowing it. But a grown woman is very much about her business, and she understands what's valuable to her and what's not. Somebody's jealousy, envy, their toxicity, the negative things they try to bring into her life, it's not that important to her. She's busy doing life. Many of us as women, we're mothers, we're wives, we're daughters, we're workers, we're business owners. We are people trying to exist in our skin peacefully. And what we don't have time for is people coming at us trying to bring all kinds of negative things, thoughts, and opinions that do not matter. A part of being unbothered is mastering your mindset and the things that you take into your spirit and into your mind. We don't allow people with their negative situations, with their negative rhetoric, with their whole hostility and aggression, we don't allow that to penetrate us. If you ask a woman who has been through some things, she will tell you that the last thing on her mind and the last thing she has energy for is to entertain fools, miserable people, and negative, jealous, toxic people. She does not even give those people an inch in her life. And what she also doesn't do is allow people to come into her situation, come into her home life, and disrupt her routine and disrupt her peace. See, many women are so strong and so resilient because they have been through life. They have been through difficult things. They maybe raise kids by themselves. They're raising children with special needs. They are dealing with things that the average person really does not understand. And when a woman truly overcomes those things and she sees how she has evolved as a woman and how she is about her business, the last thing she will allow is for someone to come in and mess that up. So people try to figure out, why are you so strong? Why are you so no nonsense? Why are you so laid back and yet so stern? It's because you have dealt with negative, toxic, jealous, dysfunctional, envious people for most of your life. For a lot of your life, you have dealt with people trying to make things hard for you. You have dealt with people who offer up their opinion but offer no help. And when you realize that, you start moving differently. You develop a shell that says, I can still be soft, but I have my guard up. I can still be soft, but I'm not falling for any little thing that somebody says. People's words and actions must match. These people are trying to figure out, why are you so fiercely strong? Why are you so resilient? Why are you so no nonsense? Why are you very stern? Why can't I get over on you? It's because you've been there and you've done that. It's because you've dealt with people who constantly try to play with you, and you're no longer putting up with that. You'd rather be a single woman than to invite a clown into your life to just appease you and do nothing for you. You'd rather be a single mother than to invite somebody into your life that's going to make your child miserable. You'd rather be a woman who will work for her own than to be with a man who would try to financially abuse her. You are the kind of woman that would rather wait for the best option than to settle for less. These people are trying to figure out, why are you so strong? How are you so strong? Why are you so no nonsense? It's because you have been through the trenches oftentimes, and there is nothing shameful in admitting that you were a woman who's been through a lot of things. Because when you come out on the other side of that, that gives you respect from other people. I'm not saying that you have to have been through the trenches. You know, some people had a hard life, some people did not. But let's be real. A lot of women did not come from wealth. A lot of women did not come from like the best upbringing, especially for women of color. You might have came from an upbringing that was very harsh, rugged, crazy. You didn't have people around to protect you. You constantly dealt with jealous, envious women, girls on your back trying to make things hard. And as you grew up as a woman, you realize, I'm not dealing with any of that. If I get a hint that somebody is trying to destroy me, trying to mistreat me, trying to mislead me, I'm done with them. These people are trying to figure out, why are you so resilient? Why are you so strong? How are you so strong? Why are you so no nonsense? It's because you were foolish for too long. You allowed people to gaslight you for a very long time, and then you woke up and realized, I'm worth more than this. And especially when you were dealing with those people who did nothing but hate on you from a distance, come around to inflict their misery, and then try to get you to second guess your decisions when you were doing the things that were right for you. See, there are some people, they just sit on the sideline of your life and pass up critique, but do nothing to help you. That also contributed to your no-nonsense mentality. That also contributed to you being fiercely strong and resilient. That is not to say that as women, you don't want help. That is not to say as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a person, that you don't appreciate people doing for you, but not at the expense of somebody holding it over you. See, there are some people, they do things for you because they're jealous of you. They do things for you because they want to say they had a hand in your success when they did nothing. See, some people, they so jealous and envious of you that they would rather see you struggle instead of actually helping you. And their idea of help is nonstop opinions. But see, you're strong and you're no nonsense because you're tired of hearing the opinions of people that do not matter in your life. See, these people are trying to figure out, how are you so strong? How are you so resilient? Why are you so nonsense? No nonsense. Why do you think so deeply about everything? People who desire to control and manipulate and get over on you, they want you to be an airhead. They want you to be the kind of woman that does not think deeply. They want you to be the kind of woman that they can tell anything to and you just believe it. But you're not that. You're no nonsense. You're kind, you're strong, you're friendly, but you are no nonsense, which means you can see when somebody is trying to play you and you do a 180. You can tell when somebody wants to come into your life to disrupt your peace and you gladly open the door for them and let them out. You see, you are no nonsense because you have been through enough in your life to realize that it's not worth it anymore to allow people to come in and disrupt the good thing you have going on. See, women who are resilient and strong and yet still kind and gentle, they have worked hard to reach that level. See, some people are trying to figure out, why are you no nonsense? And they look at you as if you're ruthless. Some people consider you ruthless, cold-hearted, as if you're a woman that just doesn't give anybody any chances. That's not true. See, you're a woman that gives people chances, but because in your past, you've given people too many chances. And in those chances, they took that as an opportunity to hurt you, to mistreat you, to do things that made life difficult. They held you back for many, many years. And at this point in your life, you decided, I'm not dealing with what I don't have to. These people are trying to figure out, how are you so strong? How are you so resilient? And why are you so no nonsense? Why are you so serious? If somebody ever asks you, why are you so serious all the time? You seem like you're so serious. Normally, it's because those people you're around, you don't feel safe with. And this is a little bit of a sidebar, but it still pertains to the message. When you don't feel safe with certain individuals, you have your defense mechanism up. You're not being harsh. You're not being abrasive. You're just on guard. Some people, because you can sense, it's like your wisdom, your discernment, if you're a woman of God, that spirit of God on the inside of you can tell you when you're not safe with certain individuals. It's like your intuition and the spirit of God on the inside of you will tell you when it's like, I'm not safe with these people. These people don't have my best interests at heart. These people, they act a little funny. They act a little weird. And while you are not controlled by other people's thoughts and feelings and emotions, Your environment and the people you choose to be around, the people you allow around you, because we're human, over time, what you surround yourself with will get into you. And you've decided that I'm not safe with these people, so I'm removing myself. I don't feel comfortable to be me. I don't feel comfortable to really be the kind of woman I want to be or strive to get the things I want to get around these people, because they're always acting jealous. They're always acting negative. They're always trying to make things harder than what it has to be. So you got away from those people. So now fast forward, you come around those people again and the energy is not the same. You know, you might still have love for those people, might be your family, might be close friends, but the energy is not the same. Your guard is up. And having your guard up with certain people, that has protected you. So these people wonder, they're trying to figure out, why are you so no nonsense? Why are you so strong? Why are you ruthless all of a sudden? You've been through a lot. A little bit of transparency. Me, I mentioned before that I have a son on the autism spectrum. He is 20 years old. He is working, thank God. But having raised a child on the autism spectrum and still mothering, not mothering, but still involved now, I have dealt with having to, go to the IEP meetings and dealing with different counselors and different administrators and talking with different, different administrative people and, ABA therapy and occupational therapists, speech therapists. I've been through all of that. And throughout that time, praise God for the school district. But throughout that time, I've had a lot of people who try to interject themselves into my life, some well-meaning and some not. People, sometimes they mean well, but in their mean-welledness, they make things a little bit difficult. They actually just kind of make you doubt yourself a little bit more because of how they speak about things. But I digress. But the point that I'm making here is that for me, and I'm sure for other mothers who have children on the autism spectrum or have family members on the autism spectrum, you can understand that in the beginning, at least, it can be very difficult trying to figure out what's going on and then trying to figure out what the best services are. And the last thing you need is people down your throat telling you what you should be doing, how you should be doing it, or trying to point you in directions you did not ask to go. People who think they can do things better than you sometimes for whatever reasons, maybe sometimes they think they're better than you or whatever. Sometimes they can be very intrusive and they can make things more difficult even if they don't mean to. Now, there are some people in their ignorance, because they already see you going through a tough time, they want to make it that much more difficult. Well, I say that to say that having raised a child on the autism spectrum, I have dealt with judgment. I have dealt with trying to figure things out, myself and my husband, on our own. I have dealt with, people's misguided judgments and their direction that did nothing. And it was already difficult enough trying to raise a child on the autism spectrum, especially during the nonverbal years. When my son was nonverbal up until the time he was almost 4, he would just grunt and point at stuff. It took us a while to get him speaking and speech therapy and all that stuff. But the point of me saying all of this is that you might not deal with a child with the autism spectrum or special needs, but you might have dealt with something as difficult that kind of strengthened you as a mother and strengthened you as a woman. And you realize that, it's going to be me and God alone, and whoever else God puts in the circle to help me, help him, that's what it's going to be. And I think my ruthless era, I guess if you want to say that, my ruthless era, my shell hardening, if you want to say that kind of happened as I raised my son. And I have a daughter also, so just raising children in general, but having a child on the autism spectrum, I have to say exactly how it's coming to me. It'll make you a warrior. It will make you, you heard of mama bear? Well, you will be mama bear warrior. It's like you will go to bat because all the scenarios in your head you have about whether or not somebody's going to mistreat your child when they go out there by themselves. And, my son, he took the bus for a long time from school, and I would go to get my daughter from another school. So he had to have a key and all that stuff. Bear in mind that his speech was not all there. So if something was to happen, he couldn't really explain. I'm living now, but by faith, And I would have knots in my stomach trying to rush and get my daughter and rush and get back to pray and hope he's there and then call me when you're home. And the days when he didn't call me, but he was home, I had so many butterflies. I tell you, I believe this is the reason why I have reflux to this day, because of the anxiety that I felt. I give you this long-winded story to say that when you're a woman that's doing real life, when people come along with their little jealousy, negativity, or the little things that they say, you truly don't give a darn. You truly don't. Because you have so many things in your life that is hurting you, where you feel like you can take on anything because you've been through. Having a 20-year-old son working now with the school district on the autism spectrum, that is a blessing. And I'm not saying that as a flex. I'm saying that as a testament to what resilience can look like and what not allowing other people's thoughts and opinions of you to do to you. So when people try to figure out why you're ruthless, why are you no nonsense, why are you so strong, why are you so serious, it's because you've been doing things in life essentially on your own, and people didn't make it easy. So when you get to a point where now things are flowing, God has blessed you in different ways, you've overcome, you're not going to tolerate too much dumb stuff. Like, you're just not going to. And forgive me if this video seems a little bit all over the place, but I wanted to share a little bit of my autism story and raising a child on autism spectrum, because I hear, especially on TikTok, a lot of mothers talk about, autism mom, and they're in tears and they're crying. And autism is not just one of the challenges that can make a woman a warrior, especially for her children or for herself, but something about raising a child on special needs spectrum in the beginning, when you're dealing with it and people truly don't understand, they think they do, but they don't. You really, really, really have to strengthen your relationship with God, as I see it, and then develop that no nonsense mentality. It's like in my head, even until this day, I'm like, I hope and pray nobody takes advantage of my son. I tell him what to look out for, make sure you take your breaks, all that kind of stuff. It's like you're always on your P's and Q's. And I tell you that to say that people sometimes ask, why are you so serious? Why are you so deep? Well, a woman who has raised a child on the autism spectrum, or if you're dealing with a child with special needs, or any kind of heavy thing you have had to deal with in your life, it makes you naturally a deeper thinker. It makes you naturally more resilient and more strong. In the beginning, I would wonder, what did I do to have a child on the autism spectrum? Was it something I didn't eat, or something, vitamin deficiency or something? And I realized, and this is a little bit of a sidebar, this is just what God wanted. God knew what family to put my son into so that he can get the best care. And I am not going to cry on this video. Sure not. But I just realized that, and that got me through. So when I don't deal with certain things from people, and I have that kind of, I'm not rough, I'm very nice and kind, but it's like not too many things bother me. And it's because there's nothing anyone can say or do. I'm a warrior for the Lord. I am a warrior in life. I'm very kind, very nice. But when you've been through things and you've overcome by the grace of God, you develop that shell that says, not too much stuff bothers me. Like, this is child's play. Whatever you're talking about is child's play. Grown women operate differently. I'm going to end this video before it goes all the way left. I hope you got something out of this. Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.